Good morning, all of you, and welcome to the class of social science. Today, we are going to start with the chapter number 1. Let's know the history. What is history? Talking about it in a very simple way, then it is a study about the past events through which we come to know past kings and their entire monarch system. Let's take a short example for the same. You know, great King Ashoka was born in 304 BC in Patliputra. Who trained him? Or, who was behind his success? Acharya Chanakya, who is famous because of his work in the field of economics through Chanakya Niti. He became the third and the most successful emperor of Mauryan dynasty. Like how he became so famous might be because of controlling a vast and diverse Mauryan empire, which you may take it as a whole India presently, like when he died in 232 BC in Patliputra. All this is possible through the study of history. Now, the next question would come to your mind is why to study this history? What is a need of it when we don't have to live in the past? But it is required to know for the reason why today we are following such customs and traditions in India. Who was the one who started it for the very first time in India? Like why we have so many different religions, states, languages, different sort of diet and dressing based on different states, different festivals, and the way of celebrating the same festivals in a different way. What kind of a changes occurred in the society? Like previously, there was a system of child marriage, sati system, and doodh piti. But now it is not there. Who changed the system and brought a good change in the society? If we want to know all about this, then we have to study the history to know the difference between the past and the present. Tatpatra manuscripts. Manuscripts means written by hand or the written record of hand. Tatpatras, which was made out of palm leaf and on which poems, Sanskrit literature, and many work regarding the administration was written on it. Now, you will think that why they didn't wrote on paper, and the reason behind it is that the paper was not invented by the time. Bhojpatra manuscripts, which was made out of breech bark of the tree. You can see that in the picture, which is found in the Himalayas. And it was used for the same writing purpose as a paper was not invented by the time. Now, what is manuscripts? Means written by hand or the records written by hand, as we already discussed previously, on palm leaf or on the breech bark, and the content written on it were found in Sanskrit, Prakrit, and in Tamil language. But as they were not much processed like today's modern paper with chemicals, there had been an issue that those manuscripts over the years, many of them were eaten by insects and hence have been destroyed. And those manuscripts can be found out in the temples and monasteries. Monasteries are places occupied by a community of monks living under religious vow. Now, what information do manuscripts provide us? The information we get through those manuscripts were about their customs and traditions, social belief, lifestyle of the king, science, education, medicines, animals, etc. Now, talking about the same in detail, like customs and traditions, you might have seen Aghori Sadhus of Varanasi, which are the true devotee of Lord Shiva. Even today, if you go there, you'll find them, and even in the Junagadh city of Gujarat. Festival of worshipping snakes on Nag Panchami, which is also being followed today. India's biggest fair, known as Kumbh Mela, which is also being conducted in present times. Talking about social belief, then religion is everything to Indians. They believe that everything starts with it and ends with it. The Vedas are the ultimate. They believe to live a life based on Vedas. Individual souls are immortals. They believe that there is a cycle of birth after death. Science. Aryabhatta is the father of Indian maths. Brahmagupta, who invented zero. Education. Gurukul, ashram type of school is yet being followed out. As it is mentioned in the story of Lord Krishna and Sudama, if you might have gone through it. Medicines. Ayurveda, which is the biggest gift to the whole humanity. Siddha, traditional system of healing, originated in South India. And yoga. Animals. Cow as the holiest animal in India, and even it is being praised out today, as you might have seen many people going out for a kind of specific work, they will take the blessing of cow. Elephant as a vehicle of Lord Indra, which represents wisdom, divine knowledge, and royal power. Inscriptions, which means carving on metals and stones. And mostly, this kind of work was done by the kings to share the information about the kingdom to the future generations so that they can have a long lasting impression on their mind. One of such inscription is found in Junagadh. Inscription of Rudra Daman is a Sanskrit prose inscribed on a rock by Western satraps ruler Rudradaman the first in Girnar mountain in around 150 CE. Copper plates, which is even known as Tamrapatras, are the text engraved on copper plates, and many content was engraved on it in Sanskrit and many other languages. And the main reason to go with it was that it does not rust or decay and can be preserved for many long years. Where such Tamrapatras are being preserved, it is there in Hemachandra Library in Patan, LD Institute of Indology, Navrangpura, Ahmedabad, BJ Learning and Research Studies, Vidya Bhavan in Ahmedabad, Shri Mahavir Jain Aradhana Kendra, Koba in Gandhinagar. Coins. Coins informs us about the name of the king, his religion, culture, and his time. And along with it, it also has a monetary value. The first coin of India was made in 6th century BCE by the Mahajanapadas. And the coin of this period were known as Punchmark coins, called as Puranas. Archaeologist are the person who study about the human history. Like, for example, you might have seen in many movies where they show us the people carrying out the excavation work in the ancient country of Egypt, through which they come to know about their human history, in which they find many dead remains and the things which was buried by the time. History traveler are the person who travel to different places and they mention about the place in their own way to the whole world. Like, for example, you travel to America and then described about it to your school friends that what is there in America, what kind of beautiful places are found there, what kind of culture and tradition they people follow, what different kind of languages they speak, etc., like that. In the very same way, Megasthenes was the first Greek man, as he was from the Greece in Europe, was the first to travel to Kerala in 302 BC during the time of Chandragupta Maurya, and the first to tell the whole world about such place in India. And then many like him traveled to India and described about it to the whole world. Historians, a person who study and write about the past in their own way. And we need them because the world is developing and the historians play an important role in arranging and recording the past events, which make it possible for us and for the whole society to learn from the history in order to have a better tomorrow. And in the same way, Ramesh Chandra Majumdar is known as the most respected person in Indian history as a historian. How India got its name? The name of India is derived from the river Indus, which is even known as river Sindhu. And when the Persians conquered Indian subcontinent, the Sindhu became Hindu to mark it as the land of Hindus, which was even called as Hindustan later on. Dateline. It was divided into two: BC, BCE, BP, and CE AD. BC, BCE, and BP were the time period before 2000 years ago, and AD and CE is the counting done from 1 to 2000 years till now. And the terminology are given there as BC as before Christ, BCE as before Christian era, BP as before present, CE as common era or Christian era, AD after death or Anno Domini. You can see there in the dateline given below. That's all for today. Thanks and have a great day ahead.